Your life. Sorry about no warning whatsoever. Uh, but we thought we were going to do this later, and then it turned out that we were going to do it now. So uh, that's how we're doing it, as Sonara Double Chocolate says. Um, so anyway, we're here to talk about Thanksgiving week and the fact that
Advent,
our
maybe
Advent. Yep.
talk about that. But
And
the news seems to have slowed down a bit, so that's good. I
we
think
yeah we have it seems like nothing exciting is happening
it's been
in the
all
world
bad
at large
news, so it's nice it's that it's not. Maybe Thanksgiving break week will be a break from the horror.
from the horror. But I think we should mention that our daughter got engaged yesterday afternoon at church. And
Yes,
so we're pretty excited. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I lost my lip balm, so I'm now forced to wear lipstick continually.
she is. Our daughter is 23. Is
Yes.
that right? So
Hmm.
she was born the month after we started working at Good Shepherd in 2002. We
Yes.
came we came here in June. She was born in July, and you were hugely pregnant.
Thank you for saying it like that.
In a beautiful way. When we first moved here, um, and then it was born. So it's kind of a I don't know. She is the child of our whole time here.
Is that
We,
is
we
this
poured all of our
a sign that we should retire from all our jobs
maybe
and
here's
give
our
up?
father. Hmm. I'm really happy. He asked me for her hand 3 weeks ago. Was it? I don't know.
So
Yeah, he gave me this cryptic text. He goes to our church, so he sent me this cryptic text saying he would like to have coffee with me. And so I had an idea that something was probably going on. Um, and it was great. It took like the whole time for him to work up to get to that question. We were just kind of chit chatting, and he finally just said we could do it. I do. He's a great man. I like him. He's going to be a mechanical engineer. Like nobody in our family has, maybe Eleanor, but nobody besides her has any kind of mathematical
inclinations.
inclinations or would ever even dream of being an engineer. We're all trying to be like, I don't know,
Poet.
humanities, liberal arts, people, people who drive cabs basically for a living. so, so, but this is great because maybe their kids will have some mathematical ability.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe, maybe they'll be taught to spell and do math.
Yeah.
There's hope for the next generation. No, he's a really, really sweet guy, and our daughter is very stubborn, extremely stubborn person. She's very, on the surface, I think, very biddable and sweet, and takes people in, and then they come to realize her iron resolve. And so I'm super excited to watch their future progress. I think it's going to be so much fun
Well, he's got his work cut out for him.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that Shakespearean play, which I won't mention the name of it.
No, no, it's not like that. No, uh, it was nice. They were at church all afternoon because there was evensong for Christ the King, and I was away for the whole afternoon trying to build a topographical city of Jerusalem. And Emma called me, and I said, "Time to talk right now." And she was like, "Oh, okay, sorry." And then later, I felt really stupid. So yeah, I I hope they make plans really soon so we can arrange our lives and know what the year is going to be like. So
This is all new territory for us. So our oldest son got married last year. Or no, this year, he got married this year in May,
this year. Yeah.
and they're probably getting married next year in June, right? Is that
Well, that's what we're talking about, but I don't know. They've got to talk. So,
so? It's going to be very strange.
yeah,
They're all
three
very young.
sister.
To bring up a debate that's been going on online, I'm very happy they're young. They haven't. They got. Emma's getting married at 23, but her future husband is 21, 20.
He'll, I think he'll be 22 by then.
Okay.
Thank you for all the congratulations. So, another controversy is that we take pictures in which we don't smile, and this bothers a lot of people. Even some people on Substack are upset that in general I don't post smiling pictures. And we do take pictures of ourselves smiling, but I don't often post them because they're not as interesting.
Why?
They're
Why?
not.
Why? 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 Why do we do this? What's the reason for the policy?
Well, years ago when the children were little, I couldn't get them to smile without looking really
Garish.
awful. It
They
was
look like
horrible.
they look bad. Um,
Yeah, I could feel to my Slavic audience. They they looked terrible and they looked like evil and wicked. And I had them all frown one time. I said, look angry. And they looked like a band. They pulled out these epic, cool postures and, uh, well, good. Some people, thank you, Kristen. I love the serious ones too. They just are, they do nice. They can smile, but I think that their souls really come out when they're not smiling. And what I love about Emma's fiance is his very deadpan humor,
yeah.
very dry, and he will say something extremely funny with no expression and then waits. Takes a few minutes for people to get it. He's very good at the no smile picture. So that's one of the reasons that I uh, like him very much. All other reasons, good reasons. So, but that's he's funny. So that's going to be great for all of us. But yes, we did take some pictures where they smiled, and there'll probably be other ones as well. But those are not the coolest ones. So you guys, the ones that go up are the cool pictures. Just wanted to say that. Um, so, oh, somebody's saying something. No, I'm wearing my wrong glasses. So we should talk about Advent and Thanksgiving. It's that time of year. What are we doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Well, we're having. It was more last year. We tried to do. It was 2 years running. We did um, courses, right? We like last year was kind of a French Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
I think we tried. I thought it was really nice.
It was nice, except we had to have what was that? What was the first
We had
course?
artichoke hearts.
Yeah, which that's not Thanksgiving. That's not a Thanksgiving meal.
It
You know,
was delicious.
artichoke hearts are not part of Thanksgiving. We didn't have a lot of things that are part of Thanksgiving, and we had things that aren't part of Thanksgiving. So you have to have turkey and potatoes and Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes, really. But that got voted down last night. Did you hear that? I love sweet potatoes, and they were saying we can't have sweet potatoes. We're going to have sweet potatoes. No mushrooms,
Um,
no marshmallows. If you put
oh no,
marshmallows
no marshmallows.
close to your sweet potatoes, you're you're probably a heretic. So the um, and then we're not going to do courses this time. We're just going to do everything all at once, right?
Yeah, I related. So that's too bad. And I'm hoping that for St. Nicholas Day we can have a fancy dinner where we have mushroom soup and artichoke hearts.
That's fine. That's the same. There's no St. Nicholas Day is fine. We shouldn't do that on Thanksgiving though. Uh,
I don't know why you're attributing morality to whether or not you have courses. If all the food is on the table at the same time, I don't see how that's
well,
morally
it
better.
was well because you're supposed to have a plate that's heaped with food for things. That's the whole point of Thanksgiving. Is you have a plate heaped with food, and you can't have that if you're having courses like you're some effete French person.
That's that's so offensive.
But it's the French though. Nobody cares if you can be bigoted toward the French.
I'm
It's
sure
totally
that's
fine.
not true.
It's in the Bible.
Wait. I should read this. This is back when we were talking about smiling cracker Episcopalian, which is the best name ever. Ever see the 1,000 Ways to Die in the West by Seth MacFarlane? And they talk about how smiling in pictures makes one look crazy. That's true. That's uh, totally true.
Our children looked completely insane when they were
Yeah.
they it's like their eyes got big and like
Well, and
it
the
was
two little girls looked like those from the horror film. You know, the little girls standing in the hallway at the end of the hallway. They looked like horror
or
film
like
actresses,
they really do. That's that meme with the girl.
or they were going to burn the house
The
down.
house is burning and the girls like
Yeah, yeah,
they looked exactly like that.
yeah.
So
Awful. So Joshua says, "Cast not your pearls before the French." And Thanksgiving is a Puritan plot.
huh.
Um,
Can Puritan I guess the Puritans are the first to celebrate it, but then it says that's strange that they were because
they didn't
weren't
like a good.
Puritans.
They didn't actually hate having a good time.
No,
That's
I
the
know.
bad
No,
rap.
no, they didn't hate having a good time, but they didn't allow like they outlawed Christmas celebrations.
Oh,
Right.
did
Anything
they?
like remember like you couldn't have you can't dress you can't have feasting for Christmas. There was a rule in London during the what's his name? Cromwell's era. No Christmas feasting because it was an idolatrous feast because there's no one day is just like the other or something like that. Whatever it was. Um, Plus they fasted first, which is a good idea. We should all fast before Thanksgiving because we're going to eat a whole bunch of food. So you should.
I just watched a podcast about Ozempic, and the whole thing was really terrifying. Um, but at the end, they gave tips for what you can do to survive Thanksgiving if you're trying not to be, to break your diet. And the main suggestion was just show up when all the eating is over. And I thought that was pretty sad and puritanical in the common usage of that word. So I'm not going to do that, even though I wish I was thinner. So, but how are you going to do the turkey? Are you going to brine? Are you going to dry rub?
Yeah, I'm never going to dry rub again. That didn't work. So I'm going to do go back to my wet brine this year. Um, which is I think the best way to do it because everyone thinks the turkey is dry, but it's not dry if you unless you cook. I've said this before. Don't ever use the FDA approved internal temperature standards. Those will kill your turkey. If you want a turkey that tastes like is just so dry, cook it until 165 degrees and take it out. I think that's what they say. Take it out at 165. But you're gonna at the breast temperature 165. It's no, don't do that. Um,
What other brining tips?
okay, you're brining. So I
Or
think
tell
I
us
forget
about brining.
if you go on, I can't off the top of my head, I can't remember it, but if you go on Brock or anywhere, just Google it. It'll tell you the ratio for salt to water. And the idea is you mix the salt. You have to get the salt dissolved into water. You submerge your bird. I use a bucket, a big bucket that usually we store tools in, but I wash it out. Um, and so it's
Actually, no,
over.
I saved that bucket empty all year just for your brining now because I
Okay,
just saw what you were doing.
okay.
It
Well,
was horrifying.
so you figure out how much water you need to cover your turkey completely. Figure out how much salt using the ratio you need to infuse into the water. Do that. wait for the water to cool, put the water in the bucket. Probably while you're doing the infusing, which is you're heating the water up, all the water up you need, and the salt. Put other spices in, like um, the hard spices are really good ideas, like a hard
Anise.
cinnamon, anise, things like that. And that what happens is give it 12 hours, put your turkey in, submerge it all the way into this brine overnight, and the water and the salt and all the spices infuse into the meat, like all the way through. It has to be 12 hours. If you go less than that, it won't do it. But at least 12 hours, then all of that taste infuses into the turkey. And and they pull it out, wash it off. Um, and that will make it virtually impossible to have a dry turkey unless you cook it as the FDA says. So, so don't do the FDA. Take your cook if you're just using one thermometer in the breast area, take it out when the thermometer reads probably 150, 155, and let it rest. It'll cook. Um,
I I think a cooler, like Jill says, is a good idea. An ice chest,
yeah,
as
that'll
long as
work.
it's perfectly sealed. You should be careful about the salt to water ratio because you one time did way too much salt
Yeah, be careful.
and the
Yeah,
bird
there's
was
a
too
difference
salty.
if you're using uh, sea salt versus for kosher salt versus regular
Like,
table salt.
mhm,
The regular table salt is a lower ratio, so make sure you get the right kind of ratio for the type of salt you're using. Either one works, but it's just you're gonna.
don't oversalt
Yeah.
it.
Second thing I do like to keep it from because what another problem is your dark meat is going to cook slower than your light meat, especially if you're roasting with your turkey breast up, which to reverse that you could roast your turkey breast down, but it wouldn't look as nice when you pull it out. So 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 if you want a really nice presentable turkey, you have to roast it with the breast up. So what we do is we make a chest plate for the turkey, which enables the breast to cook at this basically the same rate as the dark meat. You take tin foil, make a little triangle to cover over just the breast part of the turkey. Put your thermometer in. That will slow the cooking down of the breast to match that of the dark meat. And then when your breast gets to be 150 again, 155, I take it out at 150. But if you're worried, 155. Um, then usually all your dog meat's done. Um, yes, absolutely bless salt and exercise water. Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, the demons will get in the turkey, and the demons getting the turkey is really terrible. Um,
Like the
so,
demon AI.
uh, uh, yeah. So, but if you do the armor method, the breast turkey armor method, make sure you take off the armor about 20 minutes before it's finished, and maybe 30 minutes, and uh, what do you call it when you take the fluid from the bottom of the tray and
Baste it.
yeah, sorry, baste it. Yeah, baste it so that because it's going to be very white. You want it to look nice and brown. So baste it for at least 30 minutes before you take it out. So it looks good.
You, I am always stressed at Thanksgiving because if you don't do the turkey according to your own specifications, the rest of the year is like ruined
I know I feel
because
terrible.
you don't overcome your sense of personal failure, which I don't understand.
Well, we lost. We had I usually have a practice turkey in October, and I didn't have a practice turkey in October, so I'm worried about how this is going to go. So we'll see. And we have a whole bunch of people now. We have like your parents here. We have an extra. We have Addie
Mm, I don't
as
think
part of the family now that Aiden married her. Is is
it's finally beginning to sink in for you.
yeah is what's his name going to join us?
He's going out. Wait,
Yeah.
Is that going to be what he's called? What's
Ben,
his name?
Ben.
Ben.
All of my children's spouses are going to be what's their names because I'm not going to be able to remember all their names.
We can't remember our own children's names. So this is going to be, and birthdays, it's going to be a bad time. So, well, for Thanksgiving, I won't be making anything because we've divvied up all the food such that it doesn't include me. So I'm pretty excited. I'll do the
Yeah, this is the
dishes.
first time where you don't have a huge prep day because I'm not doing potatoes. Rowan's doing potatoes, and uh, Aiden and Patty are doing the asparagus or the Brussels sprouts. Your mother, what's she doing?
Pies.
Okay.
So I'll do parsnips. That'll be my contribution. Well, so what about Advent? Unless you have any other Thanksgiving advice.
No, I mean, I do have lots more to say, but I'll.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I just want if you want another thing to do, like for the gravy for this for the if you want to make the gravy or at least the base for the gravy, um, on the bottom of the pan that your base that you're cooking the turkey on, um, broth, chicken broth or bouillon with water, um, celery, carrots, onions, any herbs you have for like the sage, rosemary, thyme, um, and let the cook that all in with the stuff coming off the turkey. Um, and you pour it out. When you take turkey off, you take the fluid in the bottom of the pan, strain it into another pot, skim off the fat, and then you have a nice base for gravy for your turkey. So okay, then now I'm finished.
But you don't like to heat the gravy up enough, though. I feel like you want us to have lukewarm gravy for some reason.
The reason because I had the cream too fast, too soon, so I don't want it to separate. So that's why but I'm not going to do that this time because we have someone who doesn't like cream, who can't do with
Can't
cream.
have cream.
I might make two sauces though, so we can. Yeah,
We are looking for A2 milk, which
yeah.
maybe we can get cream that way, but I don't know. So, well, no, anything else? This is your
No, that's
time.
it. We should move on. Sorry, I'm boring people now. We can talk about something else. Um,
Uh, do you have any Advent resolutions? What are your hopes and dreams?
uh, um, well, we're doing for as a church, we're doing Zoom evening prayer and adding that to Zoom morning prayer, which is great. Um, and yeah, I have some personal things I'm doing, but I don't want to share it with the whole public
Oh,
because I might lose my reward. And and, and I don't know. It's just so Advent is like a pre-Lent, I guess. Or a mini Lent in some ways. You're preparing yourself for the coming of the Lord. So that means it's a good time it's a good time for you if you have some either sin or habits that's been creeping up on you over the last year. Begin the year because Advent's the beginning of the year. It's first Happy New Year on Advent 1. Um,
make some resolutions.
yeah, yeah. Use it like you might use Lent, the 4 weeks. Um, give something up that you need to give up, or start doing something you need to start doing. Um, by grace, of course, not by your own fleshly efforts, but yeah. And I like Advent's I think probably my favorite of the penitential seasons. Advent's I like Advent better than Lent because it's shorter. It's more hopeful, I think, like because in Lent you're leading up to the crucifixion, which is great. I mean, I love the crucifixion. It's the cornerstone, the hinge upon which our faith rests is the death of Jesus Christ, which is a wonderful thing. But it's also dark, leading up to before Easter. Whereas Advent seems more like a dawn, um, the darkness before the dawn. And I guess Lent is that too. I'm
I
not sure.
don't,
What to
I don't, I would, I'm the reverse. I don't like Advent because because of it's overshadowed by Christmas, and Christmas is not my favorite holiday.
Christmas is my absolute favorite holiday.
And I love Easter is my favorite holiday, and I love Lent because it's so long, and it's the only time I feel really like I'm okay in the world as it exists now. All the rest of the time, there's this huge mismatch of expectation and desire between myself, my own feelings, and reality. But in Lent, somehow that existential crisis goes away for 6 weeks, and I feel better about everything. And then there's Easter, which is really great. But Christmas is
Most
exhausting.
wonderful day in the whole year. Yeah, how can you not like Christmas?
Well, because you won't let us do the 12 days of Christmas and have one present each day, which I think would make it really, really great. We have to have, it's like having all the food on the plate at the same time. I'd rather have one thing at a time,
I didn't
eat
say you
it.
can't do 12 days of Christmas. I'm just saying we also have to have the one day of Christmas where we have all the presents heaped up in a heap in the morning.
Well, we're not in
When
the
I was a little
economic
boy,
situation where we would do both of those things, so we have to pick.
when I was a boy, I would wake up every Christmas morning like at 3, and I would go downstairs, and all the Christmas tree lights would be on, and there'd be just heaps of presents. My parents were wealthy, and um, and we haven't managed. We've had heaps of presents, but not because we're wealthy. It's just because we have 6 kids, and like if you
If you
get
buy everybody one thing.
yeah, yeah. Um, so
But we solved that by not giving them anything all year. Like, if you want socks, you can have them for Christmas. Do you need a laptop for school? You can wait till Christmas. If you need a desk chair, that's a good thing to ask for Christmas. So, yeah, we are opposites attract. Um, oh, Cracker Episcopalian is writing an Advent poem, so that would be great. Uh, I hope that Joel Gunderson, who's not here, will do an Advent cycle of poems. We'll see if he'll do that. But um, yeah, I we argue every year, and I have to do the Christmas pageant, so that always overshadows all the joy. Muscling little kids around in angel wings and trying to get them to sing something and listen and walk just in one direction. Uh, it really takes it out of me.
you've submitted yourself to me, though. You've been a good wifely.
Yeah, I've taken your
You have done
Christmas
as you've
tradition.
been commanded. You've obeyed me as you vowed. Oh no, we didn't. You didn't vow that at our wedding, did you?
No, I didn't. I
We
was
were going to
careful
use.
not to.
We were going to use those vows. Why
Well,
did
we
we?
talked about it, but I thought in the end it wouldn't be a good thing for me, so you scrapped that.
Because the Bible's not a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Our
Uh,
son, our son and his wife, they use the love, honor, and obey or whatever. Yeah, the
but we could barely hear them, so I don't know if it counts.
I mean, I
They
can
were
think of some people
whispering.
who were at that wedding who would have been happy if they would have heard it.
Yeah.
I wonder if my daughter is going to promise to obey.
That'll be really exciting to find out
Yeah.
how much coffee I've had. I haven't had enough coffee. Um, Cracker says, being that I grew up in a like Baptist home, never had Advent or 12 Days of Christmas growing up, didn't know that until I was 24. Um, and neither we didn't do Lent, um, Christmas and Easter only. I didn't know as a teenager that Christmas and Easter had anything to do with Jesus. That's fascinating. I
Wow.
think that's definitely the case. I think that's one reason why I struggle in Advent is because in Lent, I don't spend a lot of time wandering around town trying to buy lots of stuff for people, whereas Advent is full of many hours of me on the Vestal Parkway, wandering around Walmart in a big heavy coat, carrying stuff in my hands because I can't get a cart. Um, Watching people like, well, we live in a great part of America, depressed people hoping that if they find the right thing to give someone, all of their sadness will go away. Uh, and so um, it's depressing and exhausting at the same time. But
Well, I
maybe
think
it'll be great.
what's fun, it is kind of, I mean, I, I grew up an Episcopalian. My parents, my mom like loved Christmas, so it didn't matter. Advent didn't matter when I was growing up. We had, yeah, it didn't, there was no Advent growing up. It was, it was
We did
Christmas
Advent with
began,
a vengeance. It went
right.
in my childhood
Right.
home.
Well,
Yeah,
Christmas
we,
began for us the day after Thanksgiving, and it kept going until my mom, like, she was a consummate decorator. She did made the house look
our house is so pretty.
gorgeous. Every So we didn't skip like today. The modern secular liturgical calendar. What Halloween season begins in what
September,
September?
when the school supplies are sort of fading away out of the
Yeah,
stores.
yeah, and then so September you get the Halloween season, and then the day after Halloween, that's when Christmas season starts, and it skips right over Thanksgiving. There's not a lot of
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
there's no
decor,
Thanksgiving
but
season.
my mom did Thanksgiving like crazy. She did Halloween kind of not much, but then basically it was Thanksgiving, a lot of decoration for that. And then, so anyway, I didn't do Advent either, but I have found myself after I became a pastor, I had to like, we should do Advent. so, so, um, it's been great. I mean, to look around at the world, like I really, I remember being depressed as a kid the day after Christmas because everything's done. But, but now you have Advent where you're not in Christmas yet. You're waiting for Christmas, and then Christmas happens, and you get 12 days of feasting,
And
followed
then
by
Epiphany.
another feast. And then
Yeah.
so you get two feasts in a row, Epiphany right after Christmas. It's really great.
Yeah, Thanksgiving hymns. We don't, I miss Thanksgiving hymns too. Um, Cracker says that he thinks that its fourth grade awakening will be liturgical, which I think would be fascinating. And then Kristen says Advent in Hungary is profoundly beautiful. I was
Mm,
humbled by how serious they are for the whole season of Advent. That's really
that's cool.
interesting. I would love to go there. Um, again, I've been to Hungary, I think. The No, I think that Advent tempers, well, helps me cope with the being a Christian in a world where it's always Christmas and never it's always Christmas and never
Advent.
it's not really Christmas. It's like fake Christmas. It's uh, all the stuff without any of the meaning behind it more and more. Um, but I've also given way to a lot of things in the last 5 years. I've become a dedicated Christmas Hallmark movie watcher. So, um, I, we're gonna start that this week. We're gonna watch Hallmark Christmas movies this week. So sue me.
Those are so cool. So,
We're also gonna watch, um, The Christmas Prince again on Netflix. That's what we're doing. That's how we're doing it. So, um, yeah, always Christmas, always winter, never Christmas. So,
isn't like aren't all the Hallmark movies just basically like that one movie with Hathaway in it and Hathaway in it where she's like the nerd girl?
oh no, but that has more of a plot than any of these.
Oh,
There is a sort of a character transformation. She gets a makeover, and there's a little bit of stress in that movie. That's not how it is in the Hallmark world. There's no People die, and it's not that bothersome. And um, I would love to be friends with your fiance. That sounds great. Um, this is a change of subject, but I'm going to say, are there any updates on Molly? I I don't have any uh ex- real updates. It's just that there's people fleeing um, violence, this blockade of fuel by jihadists all the way in the south of Mali. And there are beginning to be more and more, as they call them, displaced people. So um, we just really need to keep praying. But I haven't heard of any new news, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I mean, I guess no
I'm
news
very
is,
sad about your village. I love your village. It was
yeah.
so peaceful there and nice. I mean,
Mhm.
and safe. So I
Yeah,
it was I never was when I visited. Um, you know, maybe okay. This is gonna sound really racist. I don't mean it does not mean
good.
but
I'm
like
super glad you.
I had my experience in Africa before I visited Africa was like the Zulu movies, like
Gosh,
so
that's horrible.
and so you told me you live in a village like without any running water or electricity. I'm thinking uh English people having to fend off the angry Zulu people. But of course, Mali is in Western Africa, northwestern Africa, and the Zulus are in South Africa and Eastern Africa. But but the but no, it was like it was so the people there were so wonderful, and it's so sad to think of them being everything they have known for generations and generations and generations, eviscerated by this horrible jihadist um,
Yeah.
incursion. I mean, I
Well,
wish.
I would say Malians are generally very quiet, peaceful people. If you had to make a generalization about a whole population with many ethnic, or a whole country with many ethnic groups in it, that one thing about uh, Malians and Kenyans actually that I've noticed is they talk very quietly, and it's maybe it's Nigerians that are super loud. Somebody said that Nigeria is the America of Africa. People talk more loudly, but um, I don't know if that's true. Malians are very quiet, soft voiced people. And um, but yeah, I mean, the encroachment of militant Islam all the way down from the north and gradually is just eviscerating the culture and the peaceableness. And it's just pure violence. It's awful at on every level. So yeah, and it's happening all over Africa. Um, and I don't know. There seems to be no solution that no human solution that I have heard of any. Nobody's trying to do anything. Um, so I think they're definitely trying to bring the government down, and then it would be uh, an Islamic state, I guess, if that's the end goal. So
I mean,
another reason to pray for the next month. The focus.
you would think the French wouldn't allow that to happen, but the Malians kicked the French out, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Uh,
did.
um,
So there's no French.
right.
They invited the Wagner group in, but I think they took stuff and then I don't think they're there. I haven't heard of any real pushback from the Malian army can't deal, and there's not really other forces that are there helping. So we'll see what happens. But it's also really bad in Sudan and Niger. That's the whole region. So it's awful.
I spent Christmas. The first time I visited over Christmas. Was it?
Yeah, we went for
Yeah.
Christmas and then we went back in the summer when we had two little kids. And I don't know how all of our stuff is there. Um,
Yeah. Anne has this house there that they built. It's a mud house, um, but it's really beautiful. Uh, And I was they have it. I was surprised how nice it is without electricity or running water. Um, which I didn't. Yeah, I like camping, so I thought I was going camping, but it really was. It was very civilized. Your parents have a solar panel, and they can have refrigeration that way. So you're able to have meat. Um, But that I'm afraid for that house. It's such a wonderful house.
Yeah, I'm I'm really sad about my house. We'll see. I hope it doesn't come that far. Well, I have no idea. I'm trying not to think about it actually. Um, let's see. Cracker says wars and persecutions in Africa will be the next humanitarian crisis, if not already. It's a shame the media doesn't report on it. Yeah, thank goodness for Nicki Minaj coming in and
Yeah.
casting an eye on the
Whoever thought
reason.
that whoever thought that those words would escape your lips?
Yeah,
Nicki Minaj.
from Nicki Minaj. But we need more celebrities who care so that the media will care. And then Kristen asked for a nonprofit that would recommend, for help on the ground. I don't know. Uh, I don't know of any, but I will try it and look up because I'm going to soon, hopefully, be interviewing my dad about a project that he's working on still with our village. It's in southern Mali, and the language is the one of a group called Senefo, and he is planning to publish a dictionary of this language he's been working on for 30, maybe 40 years. The dictionary is going to be French, English, Supire, and then there's going to be an app. And so I'm going to have him come here and talk about this language group and his projects and all that. But in the meantime, before that, I will also see if there are any aid groups that are trustworthy that all Americans have been told to leave and all expats really.
So
So
yeah, well, so you should say. I mean, people don't know what your dad did. Like uh, the language group, Superior. Is that that's it, right? Um,
sort of how you say it.
Superior.
Supire.
Okay. So before your dad went to Barakallah and lived there, the most people had to have their access to Christianity. Superior speakers, their access to Christianity was through Bambara, which is the trade language, um, kind of like uh, Greek was maybe for Hebrew for Jews in the first century.
Aramaic in the ancient world.
Yeah, yeah. So you didn't, and so you, if you don't have, if you don't imagine not having the scriptures in your own language. So Superior wasn't people knew it, but it wasn't there was no written it wasn't written, and so your dad went in there and learned the language, uh, created a grammar, right?
Well,
Um,
so
go ahead.
the Christian Missionary Alliance went to that region in the 30s and 40s, and uh, they were developing an alphabet and some description of the language, or sort of rudimentary description of the language, and so they felt they invited Wycliffe to come, and then so Wycliffe sent my parents. But a big part of my dad's whole life has been first getting the alphabet fully so that it's a good alphabet for that language. And then he did write an 1,000-page grammar on this particular language, which kind of anchors it in the region as a for linguists, and it has preserved this language within its own family group and made it more of a it's gotten more attention.
And it was
These
based on, and
literature.
because he did that, they were able then to have a New Testament translation now. And so,
So they have the New Testament. They're working on the Old Testament still, and there's other literature. There's now he's working on writing down folk tales and other things that people can read. Because if you have literacy and now so having a dictionary will be a huge help to linguists and just
your
the
your
whole
your
language
dad's
family group.
your dad's grammar was his PhD dissertation, right? Is that
Yeah,
correct? And
yeah,
then and now the dictionary is, I guess, the companion piece to that. Um, but I mean, that's just amazing work. 30 years of his life, he 40,
yeah.
yeah, he
Five
made
it
it
now.
possible for this people to have the Bible in their own language,
And
largely on the basis of his work.
yeah,
So,
but the
not that other
CMA,
people were there, but
yeah, the CNMA church has grown over the years, both through evangelism, but also through people having children. There's a huge number of Christians in that region because it was kind of an anchor, the language with the scriptures, the church has done really well, and there's training for, but there's a lot of Christians in Mali. It's not, I know people say it's like 97% Muslim, but that's because everybody's Muslim, everybody's everything. So you can hold it all together.
Well,
If
when I
you were
was
taking
there,
a survey. No, but but Christians are are really Christians in
right,
Mali by and large. And there's a lot of different there's Christian Missionary Alliance, Baptist, there's a really big Catholic contingent. There's um many different denominational groups that have been there since the early part of the 1900s and have um so that there are Christians in that whole region. Mission work has done so much. Um, but now there's no expats in
right,
Mali. So
right. Well, when I was there, it was interesting because there was a large Christian group in Farkala, but there were Muslims there already,
mhm, mhm,
but they weren't jihadists. They were
mhm.
very peacefully coexisting with the Christians in the village. It was strange. Like so, when I had to buy you to be my wife, and I had to give
That's not true.
I had to coordinates to
You did. That's not a bride price. It's like just a greeting. You just greeted the
I
village.
I know you like to think that, but I bought you
No,
here. Hey, I
I feel
bought
like I would be more in a
the.
position to know.
I was told by good authority that I was purchasing you, and then I bought a goat. I had to buy a goat for them to have a feast. So anyway, you give I did the whole point is that I give cola nuts to the pastor of the village, the elder of the village,
The
and
oldest woman
the oldest woman and the imam.
and the imam. Yeah,
Yeah, and then I could marry you. And then later after we were married, we had to buy them a goat, buy the whole village
yeah.
a goat.
We were not allowed to be there for that, so it was good because we couldn't anyway. But no, an actual bride price would be cattle or cash.
Right,
So
but you were cheap because you were old. That's it. So I was. What were they? The women of the village were shocked, weren't they? Because you were 24 and a man still wanted to marry you. Like
yeah,
they're thinking,
people were
wow.
very coming and thanking you, which I was deeply offended by.
They thought I was like a saint because who wants to marry a woman as old as
And
24?
beyond childbearing, African basement bride, exactly.
How many children can possibly you? How can
Yeah,
you? We did pretty good. We got
I
six. So
did pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, so wasn't too bad. If I'd been 14, imagine.
Is that what? That's the age your best friend got married, right? Is it?
Yeah,
Wow. I guess that's the way it is when you're like in a subsistence.
yeah. Although it's changed in our lifetimes, so because now people go to school, and so the marriage age in my own lifetime shifted to be radically higher to the late teens and then 20s. Uh, and now there are women who don't get married. They go and get a university education and become diplomat or bureaucrats, civil servants, that kind of thing. Although it's all shutting down because of the violence. So it's really tragic. Oh, I only speak English and French, and I would like to blame everybody else for that. But it turns out it was really only because I was very stubborn. And when we went, I just would only speak English. And the few words I did learn in Senefo were words like, um,
Tinefo is the part of
is
CPRA,
the
right?
larger,
Okay.
yeah, the larger language. Um, I learned you're lying and I'm going to hit you. And I was a horrible little child. And,
Well, right,
and then I went to school. I went away
but
to school.
but the reason French was there is because it was a former French colony, so French
Yeah.
was you could get around Mali speaking French. Is that right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Basically, except as a little kid speaking some French, the only people I could communicate with would have been there were like three or four educated men, you know, older men. I couldn't talk to anyone else, but I didn't want to.
You could have been a fourth wife or something.
I could have probably done that.
They have
Yeah.
you're allowed to have four wives in the village. Is that right?
Well, according to the Muslims, you can have four wives.
But doesn't that just happen to be
Christians,
over to everybody? No, not the
yeah,
Christians,
no,
but
Christians
the
can only
animists
have one
and
wife. Yeah, an animist would have usually no more than four. Because each wife has to have her own kitchen, and so you can't share kitchens. That's expensive. Um,
so it's
and
less tough to have more than one wife,
yeah, it's too. Nobody's wealthy enough for
as
that.
the patriarchs have shown us.
Yeah. And I think the word for jealousy, if I'm going off my memory here, is the word for co-wife. Those two words are the same. But Senefo is tonal. It's a very difficult language to learn.
But you were there
That's
since you were a baby, though. You should be old
yeah,
enough.
so I should have, but stop saying that. I'm there. I'm the daughter of a linguist, but I could barely speak English. Sorry about that.
But interestingly, our children have a language aptitude, I think, right? I mean,
Some of them,
and
Emma,
that's
yeah,
teaching Latin.
she's
Uh,
teaching Latin.
uh, Eleanor seems to be really good at Latin.
Hmm.
Rowan might to Greek.
Emma took Greek for 3 years, so I liked it. So maybe there's hope for the next generation.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we should probably rush to
yeah.
the next
This has
thing.
been another long meandering down autobiographical lane,
Well,
but
I
it's
think
sweet at the
I
heart.
am interested in your biography, and I think I would.
Oh,
This is your show,
oh, right.
and you people are interested in who you are because you're such a wonderful person.
I don't. I think that's not quite. We all think we're more interesting than we really are.
Well, I find you fascinating.
Well, I find you fascinating, so it's really good that we found each other.
This is
And this live stream, thank you for coming. We have to go on to the next thing. It's dark now, so I have to take the girls to dance. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. I will hopefully be posting online. I will try not to make promises for things I don't keep, but um, anyway, yeah. Cracker, I'm not interesting at all. I'm sure you are, and I hope you'll comment more. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Bye. Peace be with you too.